Alright, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the first episode of whatever it is we're doing. We're not really sure yet. We're just trying to figure things out. But basically, I have brother Emin with me, who's been on the rampage
Salam.
attacking Apostate Prophet's videos. And in this video, I decided to jump on board and share my thoughts. And inshallah, you guys enjoy.
The important part is India. In this hadith, Muhammad promises that a group among his believers will invade India in order to bring it under Muslim control, and they will be free from hellfire and go to paradise for that. What a peaceful prophecy, right? This hadith is graded by Islamic scholars mostly as good evidence, and by other scholars as fully authentic. In this case, it is an undeniable part of Sunni Islam and partially of Shia Islam. Some people use several other hadith about the same issue, even though those are deemed unauthentic, but that doesn't change a thing. One Islamic hadith exists, and it's very important. Some scholars, especially in more recent times, interpreted the hadith as a prophecy that was already fulfilled when Muslims invaded and subjugated the Indian subcontinent 1,000 years ago. But the majority and more accepted scholars have interpreted this as a prophecy that can't have come true yet, because Muhammad was talking about the end times, and the world didn't end back then as far as I know. Therefore, the general belief is that India will be conquered once and for all.
Okay. So Ridwan here is using a hadith that has nothing to do with the end of times, and he's saying that this is something that will happen at the end of times because some scholars have interpreted to be something that will occur at the end of times. Well,
somewhere here, I think.
The narration does not mention anything like that. The narration simply says that this is something that's going to happen. Okay? There are two groups of my ummah whom Allah will free from the fire. The group that invades India. Has this happened? Yes, it has. Prophecy fulfilled. Khalas, end of story. So,
I'd just like to add, by the way, if you look at the hadith here, it says there's two groups that will be saved from the fire. It says the group that invades India and the group that will be saved with Jesus. The hadith actually refutes the whole point that he makes because these two groups are distinguished. They're two different groups entirely. So it can't be that this group that invades India is the same group that will be with Jesus.
Exactly.
So
good point.
It's a very huge fallacy. It's very problematic if people fall for that. Go on.
Okay, so here this
where were we?
This as well, Akhi. This as well. He quotes, if you don't mind going back to that screen. So he says he shares three narrations, three numberings. They're all from Sunan Nasa'i. If you can find that, yeah. So one's authentic and two are weak. Now, none of the three mention anything about end of times. And my light went out.
None of them, pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of Muslims in Pakistan and India still believe firmly in this and still use this prophecy as a part of propaganda, religious propaganda. Some even think that the process has started off.
Okay, so some people think a certain belief, and therefore the category that they name themselves to has to believe that as well. There's many people in Bosnia that believe, where I live, by the way, that believe in random stories about sheikhs that go on and get blessings and make springs of water come up. That doesn't mean it's part of Sunni Islam, despite the fact that there's many people that believe in that. So it's a lot of these things can turn into myths, and unfortunately, this is what some modern Pakistanis might do. But most Sunni Muslims understand that this already occurred and that the Ghazwa to Hind is over.
You can just make a quick search for Ghazwa in Hind right here on YouTube, and you can find a lot of videos, usually by Pakistanis or Pakistani imams, that approve of this and add to the prophecy. And in the comment section, you can see how peacefully people make comments such as, "I am ready for Ghazwa in Hind." It is a form of disgusting, barbaric propaganda.
Like, if you guys do a project for school, you're gonna at least go to Wikipedia.
Right.
You're not gonna go and say to your teacher, "Well, I read this in the YouTube comments." It's ridiculous, very unacademic.
Well said.
And remember, this guy gets paid for this. So
he gets paid. He gets paid. Goddammit.
There have been numerous scholars and other people in history who made predictions and invitations about the Muslim conquest of India. Most importantly, Shah Ni'matullah Wali, a Persian Sufi scholar and poet from the 15th century, made predictions about Muslims and Indians having several wars, and the Muslims finally conquering India.
Every pious Muslim knows that the three usul, the masadir of the Sharia are the Quran, the Sunnah, and Shah Ni'matullah Wali, whoever the hell that is. He needs to prove that this person said those things.
That too, the burden of proof is upon him. So he might be actually fabricating a thing about the poet himself. So, yeah.
I don't know, because I've never heard of this.
I mean, what are we supposed to do, Ridwan? Just take this blindly? I mean, I'm not gonna do that. You shouldn't do that.
He probably read it in the YouTube comment.
Possible, you know. Doesn't even go to Wikipedia. I mean, I'm gonna check the article on Shah Wali whatever.
Muhammad made such prophecies about conquest.
Not much. Khalas, bro. Khalas, we're done, bro. We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
You guys watch this video. You guys like this video. You guys subscribe. Slap that button. And
follow us on Twitter.
Yep. All right. Anything else, bro? Anything else?
We'll be talking with people there. Honestly, I have nothing else to say other than just, you know, it's a bunch of fallacies that he made, and I really want to recommend people not to watch this guy. And you know, he ends videos by saying stay away from Islam, so I'm just gonna end this video by saying stay away from Ridwan. Salam.